So I'm gonna go ahead and do a little quick back testing. All right. So here we on the we're on the 1 week time frame, right? So um so we have price that came down into this area and rejected this area of the 1 week and then started making its way back up. So here we had an all-time high, which is right here. So we have an all-time high right there, and then we have a um so we have another rejection area right here on off the weekly time frame. So so what we're looking at right now, so we see that right here being another rejection rejection area where the market rejected this area and is trying to make its way back down to this area right here. So if in the event for this week, if the market comes down right here, this is a golden area for a pullback to go back up to the upside. So that's exactly what based off of this weekly time frame. So we're building a strong bearish candle down to the downside. You can see this candle right here. It is bearish to the downside. Bearish meaning that it's a down candle. So for my candles, the orange one is going up and the blue one is going down. So for yours, it's probably the green one up and the red one down. So that's on the weekly time frame. So we have four zones right here that we're looking at. So we're looking at this rejection area right here where market came, touched this. This touches on November 10th and make its way back down to this area on November 17th. So it took a whole week for it to get back down here. And then from here, it rejected and started making its way back up. So which this area right here is December 1st, where it started rejecting, and December 8th. So literally like this whole week, this been dancing in this area right here. It made plays, but it haven't moved out of this area. So for December 8th, it started, which is probably going to be tomorrow, well, today, but tomorrow, it start moving away from this area back down to the downside, right? So that's why we do back testing to see what was going on the week before and what was going on prior, so that we could gauge the following week, um, the week that's coming, we could gauge it to see what's going on and where the market is trying to go. So for right now, we are bearish off of this candle. So if we do up plays, probably going to do pullbacks to make it back down to the downside. But this specific area right here, I'm looking at the market to come back down into this area and push up again. In the event, if it come, probably going to break it and come back down into this area to retest it and make its way back up to the upside. So now on the daily time frame, right? So on the daily time frame, as you guys could see, we have the rejection double tap right here, and we have the double tap down here based off of the 1 week. So now we on the daily. Guys started seeing a little bit clearer. Price rejected off of here, and then trying to make it way back up to the upside. So this candle is finished on Wednesday, November 12th, and started Thursday, November 13th. Started making its way down, and this one finished Thursday, November 20th, and started Friday, November 21st, and came up, reject right here. Let's see. So reject. this one instead. So reject this area right here, right? And then what it did a they call this a swing low, swing no, swing high. Coming from down here is a swing low. So swing down and then it starts swinging back up, broke through it, creating a barrier right here. Try to make its way back up to the upside. So it might come down to this area and retest it and then head back up. Um, I know on the daily time frame I said I'm looking for it to come down here, but this area right here is telling me something different, which it already told me right here that it came and went up, um, came down, went up, trying to come back down again. I was trying to see if it's going to respect this area, and I'm going to go ahead and unlock it so that as I go down, I could see exactly what is it that I'm looking at when I go down to the lower time frame. So this is what we are looking at right now for the market to either come back down into this area and go back up, or it's going to come down, go through here, respect it, and then head back down to the downside. So now on the 4 hour, as you can see, this is where I just marked off on the daily time frame. As you can see, this is a resistant area, and then it started creating a support area. So now we just got to see if market is going to come back down into this area, like I said, and still respect it and go back up to the upside, or it's going to break it, create another lower low, um, give entry down to give entry price down to here, either reject this area, because you can see we have play right here, and then we have play right here. Reject this area back up to the upside, or try to make it back down to this side right here. So this is what I do when on Sundays. I go from the weekly to the daily to the 4 hour and go down to the hour. You can still see play. So as you go down, your chart started getting bigger. It started getting bigger and bigger to start expanding. So this is the reason why I got everything marked off the way how it's marked off. So this was last week, from last week Sunday to this Sunday. So this is how price was moving. The market opens and price actually came down, reject off to this area. But if you look to the left, we have some plays over here. So make it makes sense as to the reason why it bounced off of this area back up to the upside. Now the same thing. We bounce off of here, and then we went up here and we reject this area fully, and then start making its way back down to the downside. So in the event, come down here, just waiting for it to see if it's gonna respect this area. This is my area concern. I go ahead and put my AOC. AOC is the area concern. So I'm looking for it to actually, come down into this area. It's going to reject and bounce off. If I was, looking to take orders this time of the night, I probably would have put in a short to come down to this area, but this is outside of my trading window. So I'm just using this right now just for a, back testing markup, so that I could go ahead and, put you guys on game of what we're looking for this week. So if we come into this area, more than likely we're probably going to bounce off of this area to go back up to the upside, because the market is very bullish right now. If we come down, like, we're probably going to break it, create another a lower high, and then go back down to this area right here. So if we go right down to this area, I'm looking for sells all the way down to this area right here. If it bounce off, then I'm gonna look for buy on the way up, especially right here where it rejected. But it's been rejecting this area for a couple times, as you can see, 1, 2, 3. But this is rejecting up, so it's just wicking up. So it's making its way down to the downside. So now we're on the 30 minute candle, right? So for the fact that because this candle reject right here, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna place. I went ahead and I placed a the VWAP on here so I could see if it give me a guideline, which is still under the it's still under the VWAP. So it's telling me that it's still you know bullish. I mean bearish, 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 meaning it's on the way down. Okay, so we'll do the 15 minute. So we're on the 15 minute right now. It's still showing me the same thing. So everything is just indicated that the market is, it's on its way. It's on its way down at the moment. I know this is Asian session and stuff like that, but everything indicated that the market is making its way down. Um, More likely try to come back into this area right here to respect this area, and then make it back up into the upside. So I'm only gonna be working on for the 15, the 5 minute, and the 1 minute. Same thing, still showing me the same thing. Still showing me the same thing. So this is not gonna be, um, one of those crazy long video because I'm already know what is it that I'm looking for in in the event. Let something come out where some good or bad news, it probably push it up or whatever. But for right now, it's telling me that it's literally making its way down to the downside. So for Nas, Nas is giving something different from what I'm seeing. Let me just remove it anyway. So I go on a weekly. So Nas is basically telling right now that it's trying to go up to the upside. So Nas went up, came back down, and rejected off of this area. And I'm on the weekly and rejected off of that area. And unlock these, block these, and it's still on its way up from what it's showing. So every week you see something different in these pair because right now Nas went up, double tap, reject, came down, and then making its way back up. So this area right here is an area where you want to be concerned about because now the market is going up because it left this area right here, and on the way up I want to put anything in until the market get to right here just to see exactly where it's going to go from here, if it's going to reject it or it's going to come down. Okay, this on its way up, you know, give a lot of play, but the wicks was like very long, especially for last week. Like they were very long, taking a lot of people out. Unless you have a big um, stop loss, then you go ahead and put those in. But as you can see, I'm on the 4 hour right now. For this week, I feel like Nas is going to be a lot more cleaner than 30 because we rejected. We came back down to this area. So right here we have support, or you would call it demand. I mean, there was the buyers basically picked up from here, and you know running the market up. The sellers the sellers have this right here where they where they picked up the market from here and just basically kind of take control to run the market to the downside. So now, we're looking, the buyers are in charge. We want to see if they're going to be in charge on the way up here. Holiday coming up, more likely, probably trying to buy, and then come up here and then sell again. Um, yeah, for the most part, um, that's what I'm looking at, and that's what I'm seeing right now on Now it's 100. Remind me, I'm just marking off my areas as I go. So I keep these on here so that so that I can know exactly what's it that I'm looking at when I go down to my lower time frame. But as you can see, market was bouncing off of here like one, two, three, four, five, and then they still making their way up. So more than likely they're trying to break through this area. So we have a smoother play. We have a smoother play up here to the upside. We have way smoother play up here to the upside. So we come in. So if you look at it right, whenever you see stuff like this on the market, especially like raggedy, the market is basically trying to go back up to the smooth side. So it's kind of like you're driving on a road and you come up with a lot of potholes, but so for some reason you know that you're not trying to be on that road. So what you're gonna do is you're like trying to get to the road where it's smoother, where you don't have to mess up your car. So it's kind of like the same thing. If you look, it give the same thing all the time. It could be ruggedy, and then it just go back to the smooth side, and it come back down. Same thing, go back to the smooth side, come back down, ruggedy, and then went back up to the smooth side, come back down, do the same thing. So now this right here was a smooth side to the downside where it came back, and then it started to get ruggedy again, went up, came back down, and then just make its way back to this other smooth side right here. When I said the smooth side, meaning that if you look right here, one, two, three, like four, you see that everything is just smooth, like the way everything that's lined up, everything lined up smooth. If you look down here, everything is uneven. You know what I mean? You have where's my marker at? Where is my marker? Well, I don't have to use a marker. I can use this. So if you look, all of these is like uneven. So you're on the side where everybody just just try to push the market down to a far that they're trying to push the market down, and then they're trying to just get it back up, back into that smooth area, which is right here. So still came back down again. They're in a rough patch, and they still try to make it back up to the smooth area. Same thing, go down to the 15 minute, still showing bullish. 5 minutes still showing bullish. So go back up to the daily. So for this week, so you can see right here that I marked off on the lower time frame. So for this week, now it's look like a cleaner play to go up to the upside. Only thing is these wicks be wicking everybody out, So unless you have a big stop loss, where if you go in a drawdown to at least like 500, your account can handle it and just push it, and just push it up. But yeah, these wicks are humongous right now. So that's what I have for those. For calendar for this week, let me see what we got. So for the calendar for this week, Monday, we don't really have anything for Monday. Everything, seems pretty smooth. So we should look for good. We could see good movements in the market on Monday, even though it is Monday. So we still got to be careful. Market open, soft market open, 8 a.m. Tuesday. So we're looking for the weekly unemployment change. Um, Last week when the unemployment thing came out, it was negative. Um, 0.13K, meaning that from the number that it went up, it they subtract this from that number that came out last week, the other day, and that's how they got this. So now they come over and they're letting you know how much difference was the unemployment change from the monthly unemployment rate. So then we have job openings. So they're putting up a lot of new stuff up here. So they have job openings coming out to Tuesday, 10 a.m. And then we have September data for job openings coming out. They didn't give a previous what they forecasted to be this. So these are like new stuff that they're adding right now, which I'm gonna do some research on top of these just to see what's going on. For Wednesday, we have a lot of red folders for Wednesday, but 8:30 we have employment costs. So they forecast it to be 0.9. So in the event that this comes out red, if it comes out, red or green. If it comes out green, it's gonna market is gonna go down. If it comes out red, US30 is gonna go up. Same thing. What else we got? US. We got crude oil inventory. That's a weekly thing. Then we have Fed fund rates. Ooh, okay, this should be interesting. This definitely should be interesting. So for if this right here is actually what they're trying to get to, I'm gonna say the market for tomorrow and Tuesday, the market is gonna be on a uptrend. The reason why I say that because once this comes out, and if it comes out this way, I was supposed to come out, this market is gonna start dropping on at 2 p.m. on Wednesday. This is gonna start drop if this comes out the way how it's supposed to comes out like this for 0.75. So because of this rate right now is a reason why US30 is up the way it is. So we have all of these coming out the same time at 2 p.m. on Wednesday. So now for Thursday, we have unemployment claims. So remember what I was telling you earlier, where you have so we have the negative 13. So this is what they're getting that. This is what they're getting that from. That's why they come up with the weekly that weekly joint. So then Friday we don't have anything for Friday, so everything should go back to normal. But for Wednesday, this is big. This is really really big because this is the fund rate. If this comes, cause we're at 4% right now. If we come down to 3.7, this market is gonna actually run down like a lot, like a lot. So keep that in mind. Be careful tomorrow and be careful Tuesday. But we might see a lot of uncertainty, especially tomorrow. But right now, the only one that look cleaner than the other one is um, NAS100. US30 is coming back down into a area where we should see stuff moving back up to the upside. So just be careful. Just be careful with that. All right. I want to check one more thing real quick. Bitcoin. Let's see what Bitcoin is doing. Okay. So I had these marked off for a while, and I kept it there because this is an area that we're looking to see if Bitcoin is gonna come back down into this area. So we're still watching it. It's let me see right here. Where you at? Come here. So it's still it's still on the downtrend, doing a lot of pullback back to the downtrend, and then we have right here. So you can see, even though I put it right here, it's still showing that what I'm saying, like it's on a downtrend. So I'm still watching Bitcoin. If anybody trading Bitcoin, I'm still watching it. I wanted to like this here right here is a sweet spot for me. if it comes on into this area, which is at okay, so I have these locked already. Okay. Yeah, these two areas are a sweet spot for me. That's why I'm not putting in nothing for buys right now for this one. If this come on into this area, then I'm gonna start buying again, but not right now. All right, go ahead and send this over.